Okay, just waiting for this to connect, and I think we should be good. Okay, guys, so I do apologize. I completely missed last week. What happened? There was another doodle incident. I swear it's so funny. In my, it's like life is testing me on all of these levels. I know a while back, um, sometime over the winter, I remember thinking and saying, like, I'm really going to work on my patience and my build my capacity so I can just handle a lot more. That's one of the main things I talk about now is expanding our plates so we can handle more, which, by the way, guys, the root core of that, the root foundation of being able to have a big plate, the root foundation is the relationship with ourselves. So I'm just throwing that out there because that's at the core of it. I do call myself now a relationship coach because it's the self relationship. Everything in our life, if we're not right with us, our business isn't right, our marriage isn't right, relationship with the kids isn't right. Like, no matter what we do, we bring in all of the toxic, all of the hurt, the traumas, all of that leaks into everything we do. So when we're not right with ourselves, we're not right with anything. So that's why that's kind of my main thing now is the relationship. But a big part of that is to be able to expand your plate, your capacity, because I'm the type of person, and I know a lot of my audience, you're the same as me. You don't want to shrink your life. You don't want to take stuff off your plate. You want to do more. You want to have more. You want to build more. You want to be more. And to achieve all these big goals and dreams, we need a bigger plate. That's as simple as that is. I know for myself, like, I want to have my business grow and be big enough that I can give to the dog charities, I can give to the kids charities, I can go out and volunteer work. But I still want to have my beautiful garden. I still want to have a lot of downtime. And then with all of that, I still want to have all the time for my family too, right? And that requires having a very big plate because I have a lot of stuff I want to do and I don't want to not do any of it. So I need a bigger plate. So, anyway, I think life is giving me all of these tasks, all of these curveballs as part of my, oh, you want to be able to handle a lot, do you? All right, handle this. So I never complain about it. Um, Not a lot anyway. But it is kind of funny because last week I ended up having to miss because we had to take our doodle another emergency vet appointment. Okay, so here's the scoop on my beautiful doodle. We had to change her chemo to a recovery, a rescue. I was confused. So it doesn't really matter. We had to change her chemo up, and this chemo is stronger and it's harder on her system. And even though the side effects of having gastric issues is apparently very uncommon, that did not stop her. It was coming out of both ends. And I will say her lymphoma is in her stomach anyways, and she has nodules on her liver. So her digestion has always been very temperamental because she's literally had her stomach cut into, like the lining cut right through, right? And when she was a puppy, she swallowed a squeaker. So her intestines have previously been literally cut into also. And then even before all of that, she's always been a bit of a puker, but now we've got the other end involved. So for her to have the like IBS type symptoms is kind of, it comes and goes. That's a bit of her MO. But since she's had her surgery in October, where we got the diagnosis of the lymphoma, she has not thrown up at all. And so with this new chemo, it was super weird. No one can explain why. It basically gave her morning sickness. we gave her breakfast. The breakfast just kept coming up. Anything after lunchtime was fine. Um, the other end, not so fine. But breakfast just kept coming up. And especially with her having a bit of the runs, the vet was very, very concerned about her hydration, with her also throwing up, like rightfully so. So she got the new chemo on the Tuesday. We were back at the vet Thursday for an anti-nausea shot. Then we were back Friday because that actually went horribly wrong. So we had to get another shot. I don't know if they did more blood work. And then we also got new prescription of a antispasmodic to give to her after an hour after breakfast to help calm everything down. Holy moly. So it was a busy week last week, lots going on. And then, of course, her, oh, poor little thing. But she's much, much better this week. And yeah, again, it's one of those things. It's funny. I take it as a really good opportunity to take that step back and just like evaluate everything. I think this is really important, especially after big events or big situations or something just like the whirlwind comes in and you're like, oh my God, what is happening? Um, for example, old me, the stressed out me probably would have been like, oh my God, like this chemo is the worst thing. Now it's a every 21-day chemo. So we're with it. She only gets the pills once every 3 weeks. So there's no stopping giving it to her. It's in the system, like it's done. Um, and it did kind of creep in the back of my mind, like, oh my God, like we have this chemo, we can't like get rid of it now. Like, oh, maybe I should have just asked for a different one. Like, this is not the right chemo for her. Like, right? Like all these things. But then it was funny because immediately after we give her this chemo, another product that we've been what the heck was it? I can't remember what it was, but it was like, because I ordered her cooling powder, the apple caps, and the stasis breaker, her Chinese chemo. And it was like, as soon as this all shifted, oh, that's what it was. Because we originally had her on the stasis breaker and the Wei Chi, like a Chinese chemo, and her old chemo. So the rescue protocol was just the Chinese chemo plus the apple caps, which still have not shown up. It's been 2 months. Like, welcome to the cheapest shipping in Mexico. Hopefully, it gets here in the next 3 months. Lesson learned. Um, if you order anything to be delivered to Mexico or anywhere in Mexico, pay for the upgraded shipping minimum UPS. I don't know, it's some like the United States Postal Service is the origin of the shipping. And because it was just the basic, like, bottom of the barrel, don't pay extra. I don't even know what system they use here, but it went out for delivery almost a month ago. And apparently it attempted a delivery a week ago. It did not. We have cameras. Nobody showed up. Nobody attempted nothing. But anyway, lesson learned. So I'm just going to throw it out there for all y'all. If you have friends, if you're moving to Mexico, you're staying in Mexico, you do any sort of ordering, UPS, DHL, FedEx, the big names only. Don't cheap out. Pay the $80. It doesn't matter. Like, you do not want it lost in limbo land, like her apple caps, which, so then I just ordered some from Canada. Boyfriend's going to bring them back with him. We're good. But so these things have still not shown up, and they were part of her rescue program. And then we ran out of the stasis breaker, which is out of the States. You cannot have it sent here by mail. You have to physically bring it back in your luggage. Very weird, whatever. Don't quite understand, but sure. And so there was a lady here, and unfortunately her dog did pass away. So, but she had these two giant tubs of brand new, not even open. This is the Wei Chi booster. And she had them for sale, but it was like a week and a half, and she hadn't been returning our acupuncturist's message like, hey, can we buy these? Like, we need them. We have nothing. So I went around and I started researching, finding all this alternative stuff, like Googling all these things. And then when we figured out, hey, we can order this, we can have it sent over here, we can probably do this. And I really problem solved the crap out of a ton of stuff. Once that happened, and then my doodle got the new chemo, because I had to go back to my vet, her oncologist, and be like, there's no rescue, there's no program now. Everything we had in place, I no longer have or have never received. We need to do something. And so she gave her this new chemo, and it's like literally the day after, oh yeah, here's those products you wanted. I have them right here. Oh yeah, no problem. Let's send that over there. Like everything fell into place. So, my long-winded story, guys. I know this is how I tell stories. My boyfriend gets so irritated at me, but I really feel like I need to world build. You need to have the backstory. You need to understand all the pieces. So, getting back to taking that step back, because you see how everything fell into place. It's like everything was meant to be as it was. But if I looked at it from that negative point of view, like, oh my goodness, this made her so sick. Like, we were having all these issues. Like, holy crap. Like, we had to go buy all this digestive food and stuff. Like, I could have just been like, this is the worst thing ever. We're never giving her this ever again, blah, blah, blah. Or I could be like, wow, her tongue has lightened up in color, which means her heat is going down, which in my non oncologist brain says, well, lymphoma is a heat disease. So if her heat is going down already just from the chemo, then that means that new chemo's, it's doing something already. Like it is working. It is attacking that lymphoma. So I'm like, this is great, actually. Like, yes, it was really hard on her, but now that we have a plan of action, because it's a 4-month protocol, I'm like, this could actually like destroy the lymphoma completely. So I'm like, okay, this was obviously meant to be. And then everything else fell in place afterwards. So it was like, because of those dominoes, but none of them fell into place till after she got that new chemo, that I'm like, okay, clearly she was meant to have that. And obviously it was a rough start, but I'm like, it everything added up to be that, right? So I'm like, this is back to that, life happens for us. Life happens for me. It happened for this purpose. So I'm like, okay, that's really good. All I had to do is, well, her also, obviously, ride out this wave, problem solve, get it all under control. Now we have the apple caps is coming, the cooling herbs are coming, we have the chemo, um, Chinese chemo sitting here waiting, because with her barfing all over the place like that, we cut all supplements. Like I said, it was in the beginning, it was mostly just canned gastric food. Then I started mixing in their regular food, and now we're back. She had the tiniest bit of canned food for breakfast because I had to run to the store, and I was like, I don't need to rock the boat. But yeah, she had her lunch was just full on regular food. Everything's looking good, so we can start adding the supplements back in. And I'm like, with all this other really awesome stuff, we're got all her stem cells going again. The acupuncturist was doing some good treatments with her. We had a session with a doggy nutritionalist, so she's developing a good cancer chemo food plan for us, which I am happy to say that thanks to all my research, because I am a research queen. That is part of, if you're into human design, I'm a 1-3. We research everything. It's like just part of who we are. But thanks to all that research, the nutritionalist was very happy, and only with what we're doing, already feeding them, and only has to make minor tweaks to what we're already doing. So there's not this full like reset. We're not like, oh my God, we're not feeling overwhelmed by a completely new meal plan. She just has to tweak some stuff. So I was so happy to hear that. And the other thing is, yes, I'm currently, that's also why partly I'm all like not looking my most done up today. Not that I bother with a lot of that anyway, but I'm currently making dog food. There's a pile of meat on my counter right now, which brings me to my drink of choice today: cranberry juice, water, and some ice cubes, because it is like 40, feels like 43 out there, I believe, today. So the cool drinks are definitely, I've been put ice in their water. But yeah, it is where's my leave me some comments, guys. I love hearing about um do you guys have this sort of where you notice things, you can see how like life happens for you, or you've seen where things the ducks line up and you're like, holy crap, like that was meant to be. If you're the type of person where you believe in these big events, even the smaller events like this, I don't want to say changing or chemo was this big event, but just how things do happen for a reason, right? Yeah, it's really neat. I really love it. I really appreciate it. And again, I think it's one of those keeping handed these testing my problem solving skills, like am I going to be able to handle this? Obviously, as one of my friends would say, she owns a business herself, and she would say it's, it's the exam before the leveling up. You have to almost like pass the test. Like life is like, you really want to do this, you really want to go to the next level, all right, prove you're ready for it. And then it throws a bunch of crap at you. You got to pass the test. So yeah, it's pretty taking those irritants, even like concerns about her, like no one likes to see their baby throwing up. And honestly, guys, last Friday was a bit rough because I had a massage in the morning. So I wasn't even able to be home. Like the Thursday I took her in and I got her that first anti-nausea shot. And what we figure happened was on Friday after she had her breakfast and like an hour later on cue, she very clearly needed to throw it up, but I think the anti-nausea shot wasn't letting her. So I get home and she apparently spent 3 hours with an upset tummy, pacing around. My boyfriend was rubbing her tummy. I showed him the clockwise, like in gentle, just like, when you're not feeling good, it's nice just have your back rub type thing. All these things we can try and help her with. And yeah, after 3 hours, apparently she finally got it out. But I was like, so then of course he took her to the vet and they gave her another one. And I'm like, oh my God, not another shot. Like, but it worked. We're all good. Everything is good. And I will say I'm very grateful that the vets we have here, they're very accommodating for a price. Like they're the antispasmodic. I'm sure they have a vet one, but she said like right away, she'll just put on the prescription form, here's the human one. That is the same thing, perfectly acceptable for dogs. It's half the price. Go buy that. Like they're very good about, here's what you can buy right here, right now, or it'll be cheaper if you go to the human pharmacy and here's what you can buy there. Like very accommodating like that. I will say in Canada, I don't really recall. I think the only piece of advice I got like that was the vet telling me, because my big guy has a ton of allergies, that bug bites, like he got eaten to heck. I think it was sandflies, and he just got bitten to heck all up and on his belly. And so I ended up calling our vet. I'm like, listen, we are in Red Deer. Like, we are nowhere near you. We cannot get to you. This is what happened. And she's just like, Benadryl, go get him a Benadryl for his weight. He can have a whole Benadryl. Just give it to him, monitor him. He'll be fine. And it worked. It was good. Which, there was no like dog, because the vet brand, it's like when you put baby on something, you put like pet or vet on something, and instantly it's double, triple, quadruple the price, even though it's the same thing. Like her prednisone, I can buy from the vet for like 400 pesos, but it's the human pharmacy is the exact same thing for 250 pesos, right? So, and I think sometimes at the pharmacy they like asking, "Oh, how's she doing?" Getting the update. But yeah, so we had some stuff. We had some stuff going on in this house, but I don't know. It was still good. Yeah. I don't know, guys. I definitely have my irritations for sure. Even yesterday, I took her for acupuncture, and the the taxi service I hired, because getting around our truck, we still don't have the plates for it, so we cannot use it. And people here are terrified of dogs, so getting a taxi or an in drive for one big dog is like good luck. Two, it's not happening. It's not happening. So they have this specific taxi service just for pets. It is amazing. These guys are great. So mascota is pet in Spanish, so it's called taxi mascota, and they're awesome. He drives a big Ford truck. He's got the back. He's got little pee pads underneath this rubber he puts down for the pet. So like if you have a puppy or a sick pet or whatever, you're not. He's got it all planned. He's got all the controls covered with a rubber mat, and oh, it's really well done. It's really awesome. And but it was on the way home. I don't know if he was afraid to use the AC or something, but it was so hot in that back of that truck. And like we were just dying. And I was getting irritated because my doodle, she has a heat disease and she's already hot and she's just like dying in the back of this truck. And I'm like sweating. It's like it's pouring off of me. So I got a little bit irritated because I also, pardon me, I'm well aware when I get overheated, it's like being overly tired. I am not at my best. I am very aware of this. And I was just like, even my face, I couldn't control my face. I just started like getting like the resting bitch face, except I was just feeling bitchy. And so by the time I got home, I just like turned on the AC, turned on the TV. We put ice in everything. We got all cooled down and I just sat back. And even though I did have meat to cut up still, I was like, no, no, I'm not doing that. No. But it wasn't, I think it was more of like a bit of a rebellion thing than it was like a poor me victim thing, because I try very hard not to go into victim mode anymore. I lived there for a long time, but it's it's not like I don't have moments. It's not like we're all human beings and we're still gonna have these like, I'm done for the day. I'm out. Like, no, like all of these things, but it really is. I don't know. It sounds cheesy, but just a really good feeling, a really awesome way to live, to just have all this, basically all this shit going on around you, but be able to be thankful, be grateful, problem solve, and still be able to, I read my book every night and I go to sleep and I sleep. I actually sleep through the night. Whereas old me, I mean, what, hours to get to sleep? You turn the TV on, you turn some music on, you're doing all these tricks, you take the melatonin, finally you get to pass out, 2 a.m., you're up, the mind starts kicking in, what if, this, that thing and the other, da 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 da. And with everything going on in my life right now, like this is the most shit I've ever had in my life. And 10 years ago, me, like, I could barely survive life with what little crap I had back then. Like, there was nothing. I had a great life. We I was booking my massages. I was booking weeks in advance, so I was full-time working. As much as I wanted to work, I worked. We had money. We had, the vehicles. We had the dogs, obviously. Like, nobody had any cancers. Nobody had any issues. We had a bad neighbor, one bad neighbor out of four, because our yard was so long, so wide, that we actually had two neighbors on the back. So one out of four neighbors was crap. The other three were awesome. Actually, one of them we used to just walk. We had a Heidi in the fence. We used to pull the fence up and walk into the yard for campfires, and like we really had a beautiful life. But I was so backwards in my thinking, my mindset, so ruled by my stress and anxiety. Like I was full on survival mode. And it's funny because I think back, like, for what? It's like when you get to be in your 20s and you realize like how hard life is, but then you think back to your teenage days when like everything was world ending and you're like, You had it so good back then, you don't even know." Then in your 30s, kind of same thing. "Oh, you had 3 bills to pay." In your 20s, ugh, you had it so good and you don't even know. Like, right? And I think back like 10 years ago and I was barely surviving. I was so stressed out all of the time because I didn't know how to control my emotions. Like I didn't know how to control anything and I was micromanaging everyone and everything else except myself, which is literally the opposite of what we should do. And I was like barely hanging on with like nothing going on in my life. And now it's like we've got post cancer over there with his fusing vertebra and his legs tightening and he needs daily massages and blah blah. Like my old man, like love him to pieces, but he's got his stuff going on and he needs his supplements and make sure his cancer doesn't come back. And then there's this girl with her dermatitis, they keep calling it dermatitis, but she's got the chemo is crushing her immune system. So she's got all these little blisters or whatever popping up, poor little thing. And then so I have to, taking care of her, checking, making sure she doesn't have any little outbreaks that, she's got one on her belly, her incision scar. It's got a little blister, so I have to kind of clean that out, put lavender on it, keep an eye on it, make sure it doesn't develop into anything. She's got all her supplements, all of that, dealing with her lymphoma. I mean, the cat, yeah, she's a cat. That's a thing. Just is. She yells at me a lot though. Very demanding. Do you guys have cats? Let me know. Let me know in the comments if your cat just like yells at you multiple times a day. Like she'll just come over and like sit down and just "Rah!" And I'm like, "What? You didn't do anything." She's my first cat. I've never had a cat, so I have to assume this is normal. Let me know. Let me know if it's normal because she yells at me a lot. And then yeah, just like not having a vehicle. That is a whole new level for someone who grew up in the country. Not having a vehicle is like I really had to become accustomed to it because it's really stressful, especially again, like you need to have a vehicle here with big dogs. I mean, okay, you don't need to. We found a taxi service. It's expensive AF. So now we're just like shelling out the dough for all that. But like all this stuff I have going on now, and I've never been calmer. I've never been happier. Like, yeah, it's really interesting. It's really awesome. Like I can't promote that enough about doing personal growth work and really just it really is next level how awesome and amazing it is. So I like to, talk about my week and stuff, but it does all come back to like, oh, well, how was your week? Well, it was pretty good. I read my book. I'm watching Glow on Netflix. Oh my God, it's hilarious. It's so offensive, but it's so funny. Straight out of the 80s. And yeah, I'm really enjoying it so far. And yeah, I don't know. I think I think it really is again, it sounds kind of cheesy, but like we really do choose to be happy and we really do choose how we see our life. If we have a shitty life, then that's because we're seeing it like that, right? I know when I tell people, like even the nutritionalist, we did the Zoom call and I told her everything going on. She's like, "Oh my God, like that's so much. You have so much." And I'm like, "Mm, guess I'm used to it now, but it doesn't seem like that much to me. I still have time to watch my TV. I say we go walk in the park for almost an hour every morning, but the past 2 mornings have been really hot. Like you have your AC on at like 7 a.m. hot. Like so we have not been walking in the park. But like yeah, I don't know. It's that perspective, how you really choose to see things. So I would love, I really gotta maybe reach out here, guys. to get people to talk about. If you ever want to come on here with me and chat about this, because I'd really love to get other people's perspectives. Obviously, I talk about, how I see things, my take on everything and la la la, right? But like hearing other people's what you're going through, how you handled it, coming out the other side, and like XYZ happened this week. Well, how was your week? Well, I don't know. It's pretty good. I'm still getting stuff done. I'm still sleeping well. I'm still getting time to read my book every night. So yeah, I don't know. It's good. How's your perspective? Like, because I have definitely realized with my new shift in my lifestyle, how I see things, how I choose to live, the positivity, the gratitude, I'm not going to sit here freaking out over something, problem solve. Freaking out's not going to help anything. Take that breath, problem solve. And then I'm always listening to personal growth audibles. So on the side of that is how can I make my life better? How can I do better? Right? How can I grow as a person? How can I grow my business? Like always looking for that growth. Yeah. Let me know. Let me know, guys. So I think that really is. Oh, on the plus side, celebration is we found a new guy. The other guy obviously getting our plates. It's been 4 months, so he's clearly not getting our plates. We did find another guy, and there's this government program. Anyway, long story short, within 3 weeks, I mean, obviously, I'll see you guys in 3 weeks, and then we'll know. But we should have use of our truck. So, yeah, I think that's about it. There's not much to unwind from because I think I just kept a pretty level head for the most part. Yeah. Thank God for AC though, I will say, guys. I am so incredibly thankful for AC. All right. Well, with got no comments here and I can't think of anything else for this week to add to this. So, my doodle's having a dream. So cute. I will say, guys, have a really great weekend. Take that breath. I hope some of my stories really help you, again, change your perspective, change how you see things, really get into that spirit and mindset of life happens for us. Like, it's such a game changer instead of like, oh, that happened to me. Oh, poor me. Oh, I can't do this. Like, all of this life happens to me, victim personality, because like I said, that used to be me. I was the queen of the victim mentality. And it has just been that night and day difference in, yeah, literally choosing to see things differently literally changes your life, like your whole lifestyle, how you operate, how you talk, how you walk, everything, everything. Because when we're being a victim, everything is down, everything is weighed, ooh, right? But when life happens for us purposefully for some sort of good outcome, even if we can't see it or not, like in this moment, we cannot see what that good outcome is, but life is happening for you, like you're just head held up, right? You're just naturally more confident. You feel more supported because life is there for you, right? So even just everything, how you talk, how you walk, everything. Yeah, it's crazy, right? All right, guys, have an excellent weekend. Um, yeah, I was gonna recommend some books, but I think I've chatted on long enough here. Um, but yeah, have a very, very excellent weekend, and we'll talk to you guys next week. All right, guys, have a great rest of your day.